Okay, let's talk about a place that most of us probably think of as just empty, a massive frozen island. But what if I told you that this giant expanse of ice has suddenly become a critical piece on the global chessboard, a real flashpoint for superpowers? Yeah, we're talking about Greenland.
So you have to wonder, right? Why the sudden interest? Why did the United States recently and, very publicly try to buy it? What is going on that makes this remote slab of ice and rock so important that world leaders are fighting over it?
I mean, it sounds kind of crazy, doesn't it? Like something out of the 1800s, a country just trying to purchase a massive territory. But this isn't about old school empire building. This is a very modern geopolitical drama. Because you see, the real prize here isn't the surface area. It has nothing to do with the ice. No, the real story, the reason for all this attention, is a vast hidden treasure locked deep within the rock. And it's a resource our entire modern world absolutely depends on. So what is this treasure? We're not talking about golds or diamonds. It's actually something way more critical to our lives in the 21st century. So let's pull back the curtain and talk about the elements that literally power our entire technological age. They're called rare earth elements, or REEs for short. Now, funny thing about the name, they aren't actually all that rare. The tricky part is finding them in concentrations high enough to make mining them worthwhile. And these 17 elements, well, they are in almost every single piece of advanced tech we use. And I mean everything. That smartphone in your hand, the vibrant screen, the tiny, powerful speakers, that's REEs. The powerful magnets inside an electric vehicle's motor, REEs. Those massive wind turbines powering the green transition, you guessed it. And it goes all the way up to the sophisticated guidance systems in an F-35 fighter jet. They all need a steady supply of these elements. So, because these things are so unbelievably important, a global race is on to control them. And to really get what this race is all about, we need to look at who has them, and maybe even more importantly, who's actually pulling them out of the ground. All right, so look at this. China is sitting on a staggering 44 million tons of reserves. But check out Greenland, 1.5 million tons. That is a huge amount, more than major countries like Canada or South Africa. So the potential is definitely there. But potential, well, that isn't the whole story. And this is the real kicker. It's not just about who has the most in the ground. It's about who controls the entire supply chain. Right now, China produces 70%, 70, of the world's rare earths. They have a near monopoly on the complex process of turning the raw ore into usable metals, and that gives them incredible strategic leverage. Which brings us right to Greenland's central paradox. You've got all that potential, 1.5 million tons of these vital elements just sitting there, and yet its current production is a big, fat zero. Nothing. So the question is obvious. Why? Why is all that treasure still locked away under the ice? Well, the answer is complicated. It's a mix of nature, economics, and of course, politics. Getting to Greenland's wealth isn't as simple as just showing up with a shovel and starting to dig. There are some serious hurdles in the way. First off, you're literally battling the Arctic climate, some of the most brutal weather on Earth. Second, you have to build absolutely everything from scratch. We're talking mines, roads, deep water ports, power grids. None of it exists out there. And third, you have to navigate the complex local politics, which include some of the world's strictest environmental laws and genuine concern from the local population. But here's where the story takes a fascinating and kind of ironic twist. The global crisis of climate change is actually making Greenland's resources easier to get to. As the ice melts, it's uncovering land that was impossible to reach before. It's also opening up new Arctic shipping routes that could slash the cost of getting these minerals to the global market. So let's connect all the dots here. We've got elements that are absolutely essential for all future technology. We've got one country with a near monopoly on them, and we've got a massive untapped source that's slowly becoming more accessible. You can see how this sets the stage for a massive geopolitical battle. For the United States and its allies, this is a huge deal, a matter of national security. Having to rely on a strategic rival for the basic building blocks of your military and your green economy, that's a massive vulnerability. So Greenland represents, really, the best shot at creating a stable supply chain completely outside of Chinese control. You know, former President Donald Trump really put this whole issue in stark terms. His statement, while incredibly blunt, really captures the high-stakes thinking of these global powers. This is all about securing the resources you need to lead in the 21st century. So we're left with this incredible question. As the ice continues to melt, is this remote island about to become the new frontier in the global race for resources? It's pretty amazing to think that the future of our phones, our cars, and even our national security might just depend on what happens next in this frozen land of buried treasure.